Welcome to the webinar of the Bachelor of Animal Sciences of Wageningen University. We are very happy that you're all on this show this afternoon. My name is René Kwakkel and I'm Program Director of the Bachelor and Master Program in Animal Sciences, next to my position as Associate Professor in Poultry Nutrition. I'm here today with a couple of students, first-year students of the program, and let's ask them to introduce themselves. David, go ahead.
Hi, I'm David, and I'm from Indonesia. I'm 21 years old this year, and I've been always living in Indonesia. I come to Wageningen because for the study.
Thank you. Evelien?
My name's Evelien. I'm 19 years old. I'm Dutch, but I lived in Australia for 10 years, and I went to an international school in Arnhem.
Okay, thank you. Next to that, we have Janneke on the show. You can see her already sitting there, waving. And Janneke will be our moderator for this afternoon. So whenever you have questions, you definitely can address them to us, and Janneke will pick them up. In this webinar, we will cover several topics. And I will first give a presentation on the Bachelor program itself, the core of the program, and on some different courses, specialties, guidance, and the possibilities of certain jobs after you got your degree. The presentation will be split into those subjects, but in the meantime, we will have a discussion among each other, together with the students, to also ask them for their opinion about the program. And before I start this presentation, I would like to ask the first question to Evelien. What was actually the reason to study animal sciences here in Wageningen?
Well, I mean, the study is really nice because I like animals, and it's the first animal course that's in English in the Netherlands, and the university is really good. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay, David, some additions?
Mainly the same reason, but one extra point is that Wageningen is a very research-oriented, and I really like that fact. And yeah, it's a ranked university, so
okay,
trip for the best.
Great, thank you. So this is a good starting off of this webinar. I would like to give you some introduction on the program, because when you study animal sciences at Wageningen University, it means in fact that we would like to educate young adults to become very critical students in the field of animal sciences, and particularly in the field of domestic animals. Because domestic animals is the main focus in our program, animals that we care for actually. And a student in our program has certain responsibilities. They have to invest the time that is needed for their studies, and for an adequate performance of course. They have to plan and prioritize other activities whenever you might have a little job or whenever you would like to do some social activities. And of course we hope that all students participate in a very active way within our program. The scope of our program is oriented along a couple of themes, so to say. And you can see them over here on 6 different themes in our program, and those are also the specializations in our follow-up master program. And as you can see, they follow a different degree in level, so to say. Some are very focused on the animal itself and on organ and tissue functioning, like for example the molecule, cell and organ functioning theme. You will get courses in that area, and some are more in terms of a global perspective, if you get courses and get knowledge on global and sustainable production. And of course some of the more, let's say, classical oriented themes are also there, like animal nutrition, animal ecology, adaptation, health and welfare, and genetics, so to say. So you see, for everybody there is something in this course. We try to address in many of our courses in our bachelor program all different species within the program. And it's just up to you what you would like to study and in what way you would like to specialize at a certain moment. To give you one little example, this is a multi-level issue in animal health care, and it focuses in fact on all the different aggregation levels that our program is focused on. You see there is something about the immune system that we want to know if we're talking about, for example, health status of little piglets. There's something in the hygiene situation of animal husbandry systems, what you see on the upper right panel, so to say. But we're also talking about world issues. If people are traveling, they take sometimes infectious diseases home, and we are very scared that that might affect our population, our animal population within the country. And of course, we need to be sure that whatever we do in terms of treating our flocks, our herds, is that we don't want to have food residues within the product. So food safety is another aspect. So here you see a couple of those aspects coming back within our program. We have an international program, as you can see. And one of my questions to the students is, for example, an international program means that there is an international inflow of different students. And well, it's the first year that we are international, and my biggest question is, how do you perceive the fact that you are working together with students from many different nationalities? David, what is your idea about that?
For me, because I come from an international school in Indonesia, so the international setup here is not something new for me. So it's nothing foreign. But for my classmates who are the local Dutch, for them it's more obvious. They are not really used to it. It takes them some time. And in the internet setup, if both sides are already used to it, it's very fast to be on track. But only when one side is used to, maybe it's not that fast. But eventually they will get used to it, and it takes some time. And
you will definitely help them with that, getting acquainted to this new situation. Perfect. Yes. Evelien?
I agree. Well, I spend a lot of time with the Dutch students because I'm Dutch too, but I think because there's so little, a little amount of international students, there's just less interaction between them right now.
So actually, because you are Dutch and also living a long time in another country, you have everything from both worlds, basically.
Yeah,
that's quite nice. Good. So as I said already, we have this international program, and as you can see here in this slide, we have a couple of different, let's say, educational methods of education. We have lectures in our classroom. We have excursions, we have practical work, we have group work. So we try within Wageningen University, as well as in this program, to have a large range of different setups and to make it also quite attractive for students to study. It's not a one-way study. What we normally do, even we have a classroom of 100 students, we address questions to the students and they have to respond directly within the classroom, so it's not a one-way direction, and that makes it a lively discussion way and interacting between teachers on the one hand and students on the other. Janneke, did you already got some questions from the audience?
No.
No, not yet. So
not yet.
Let's try to, whenever you're looking, whenever you're watching, please be in our show and come up with your questions. That would be very nice to have you there. Okay. The next topic I would like to raise is our program. At least in the Netherlands, we have a 3-year curriculum, bachelor curriculum, as you can see here from this slide. And this 3-year curriculum means that all of our students need to take quite some basic biological courses in the first year, which is not always very nice because it means that they really have to dig into math, into chemistry and whatever, all of those type of courses, statistics. But that's the first step they need to overcome. And what we did in our program is within this first year, we try to combine all of those, let's say, more basic biological courses also with some of the more animal science oriented courses. As you can see here, and I will come back to that later. You see that in the second year it's much more oriented towards the several disciplinary areas in animal sciences you can choose for a major. I will come back to that later. And in the third year it's almost all integrative and free choice, so to say. But let's go on to the next step, and it might be nice to show you for a moment the first year. Here you can see all our courses, which is some of those courses are in one period of 2 months, and then you have a morning and an afternoon course. But in period 3 and period 4, you will see that there is only one course that you are following during the morning and the afternoon. You will never have in the morning and the afternoon lectures. Sometimes you might have in the morning a lecture and in the afternoon a practical, etc., or a whole other course. And this is the entire focus on the whole year. So it's 60 credits in 40 education weeks. That means still that you will have 2 months free, so to say, if you don't have resits for the program. So be aware about that. Make good use out of the program. You see here that the more blue courses are the ones that are basic science courses. The green ones are the ones that are general biology courses, which is very related to animal sciences, of course, you can imagine that. And the red ones are the ones that are specifically focusing on animal sciences. Okay, coming to our first course, biology of domestic animals. This is just one course that I would like to stress out here. And while you are watching the different pictures that you see over here, I'm very anxious to hear what our students think of this course. Evelien, could you give us an idea?
Well, I thought the course was really informative. It was difficult because of all the information, but I thought it was really cool because you did a lot of practicals with the animals, and yeah, I learned a lot with it, and it was fun.
Okay. Did you like the fact that at least we tried to get that course constantly another type of theme, another type of topic connected to another animal? Because that's what you see, yeah? Yeah,
it was all interconnected during the course, but yeah, I don't know.
Okay. David? You didn't like it, eh? That's what I heard from you. Yeah. You didn't like it a lot. Why not?
Because this course is, I think this course is kind of represent like the study in Wageningen. Yeah. It's a very broad but specific course. Yeah. So they cover a lot of topics from different animals and dive specific into each topic. And overall, I like some of the animals, some of the topic, but there are also some aspects that I doubt I will even touch in the future. So that's why the overall experience is not so great. But yeah. It is still a quality course.
Because you are more a guy of going into a little bit more advanced courses in the area of your interest, and you think this is a quite starting course, so to say, to give an introduction on all different aspects.
As an introduction course, it's a bit too specific. Maybe.
Okay.
There are also some introduction course on other subjects that I'm not so interested, but they are more on the brief, and I think it's fine. For this one, for example, it's very specific, but it's not a bad thing to see other field.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's what we aim with this course, to give an introduction of all the different aspects within animal sciences, to give students also a little bit the clue of, hey, which theme and which type of discipline do I really like a lot here in this within this program. And then finally, of course, you can choose whatever you would like. This is just one example. Are there other examples of courses that you think that you really liked, or that you? Well, we already spoke about the math and the statistics courses that you might not like. Did you like those ones?
Personally, I like a lot like genetic. There's some biology, cell biology, and some animal behavior. Those are on the surface, it sounds like a very pure biology course, but what I really like here is that they incorporate into more animal science, more into practical side of this study. So it is, yes, it is more research oriented, but it's also very practical.
Okay. So the combination you
combination,
like, basically.
That's yes, my favorite part.
Ah, there is something coming in, Janneke.
Yeah. I have a question. What species are studied during the first year?
Okay, that's a good thing. Well,
And, one addition.
Yeah.
One of the viewers said the course scheme wasn't very visible. Maybe we can put it online later.
yeah, that's possible. Yeah, that's definitely possible.
Okay.
And then they can
Fine.
view it. That I can imagine, because that is relatively small. Well, the first question that Janneke got from our viewers.
Yes.
What do you think?
Well, the main animals they focus on, it's focused on is cattle and pigs and poultry and fish.
Yeah.
And they have stuff with horses and cats and dogs. I think those are the main animals that are focused on, but they also focus on other animals, of course. But
Yeah.
I think those are the most domestic animals.
In general, it's just domestic commercial animals.
Yeah. The point is that in this program, we definitely focus on domesticated animals. That means that the animals that we have a certain responsibility for, we feed them, we house them, we have them in our neighborhood, so to say. However, in the first year, you only will touch on some of those animals by illustrative concepts, because we think that the basic knowledge for any animal science students is a lot of biology, and that means that biology is coming to all of our students even below the level of an individual animal. We just, whenever we use it, whenever we use animals in a certain way within those courses, it is definitely in the way of a comparativity, that we try to make comparisons between the functioning of the gastrointestinal tract in different species, and then we hope to show our students what the differences are and what it means, for example, for their feeding strategies. And the same is with immunological systems as well. But it's good. It's nice to, this was a very nice question from one of our viewers. Perfect. Okay, let's go on the next part. As you can see here in this slide, there is a choice for two majors, and to directly come up with the two majors, you see them over here. Animal management and care is one of our two majors. It's a major of 24 credits that are different from the other major. That's always that's the definition of a major within Wageningen University. And that means actually that there is one which is basically focusing on the animal level and the upper part, development of a sustainable animal husbandry system, for example. And the other one is merely focused on the biology of the animal, the biological functioning of animals. So you are going deeper, focusing deeper into the animal. You're using sophisticated techniques, molecular techniques, and which gives you a really input and focus on how the animal is functioning, which is also within animal sciences, is a very important part, so to say. Think this over. Do you have already an idea which direction you would like to go? One of you? David?
For the major,
Yeah?
probably I will go to the biological functioning of the animal.
Okay.
Yes, but minor, still, there's a lot of choice in Wageningen, so I will take a look at that this summer.
Okay. Well, we didn't say anything about the minors yet, but we will come up to that a little bit later. Evelien, what do you think?
I don't know yet. I like both the biology and the management, so I think I'm gonna have to decide, because I think we have till next year to decide. So
halfway next year.
So I'm gonna just wait till next year and see what comes.
A good way what you could do, and that's as well for the viewers at home, is what you could do is just check what type of courses are there in those two majors, and then say, okay, I'll click on the course on the website, on the study handbook, and then see, okay, do I like this? That means it is 2 pluses. I'm a little bit fake, so that's a plus and a minus, or I don't like this course at all, and then there are 2 minus. So that could mean that you get an idea on, okay, there are a lot more pluses in this major than in the other major, and that might finally give you an idea of choosing one of those 2 majors. And you have your study advisors, of course, in order to interact with them and to discuss with them what should I do, and we will come to that a little bit later. Let's see whether I'm not forgetting anything. I hope not. Let's see. Okay. Whenever you choose your major, there is also the bachelor minor, and I'll give you. David was already saying something about that, about the bachelor minor. There are a couple of choices. A bachelor minor at Wageningen University actually means that you take a set of courses that are interrelated to each other and that are mainly governed by a kind of a theme. And you see here 3 of them that are in many cases chosen by our students in the past couple of years. Wildlife biodiversity, biology of infectious diseases of humans and animals, and economics and policy. And there you can see that every student has another focus. And we have around 50 of those bachelor minors, so you can imagine that you can have a large choice to do. You could even take those ones here in Wageningen. However, if you would like to go abroad, for example, you could also broaden your horizon, and you see here a couple of our direct connections within Europe, but also outside Europe, a couple of universities where many of our students are going there for the course Broaden Your Horizon in the 3rd year, but also later during the master program they could go there for a thesis or for an internship. But it's always nice to look a little bit further than only what is offered in Wageningen. So that might be one of the ideas for you to just check on the internet, talk with lecturers, with one of the lecturers that you see next year that are, for example, a specialist in a certain area, and ask them, if you're interested in that area, where do I find the major research groups and to what university should I go in order to learn there something. Did any of you, Evelien, did you had already a clue? Are you going back to the country you lived in 10 years or?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I do want to go abroad. I want to go somewhere else just because in different countries you have different cultures and they handle animals differently. So I'd like to see how different that is from here.
Okay, marvelous. David?
I'll probably stay in Wageningen.
Yeah.
There are other subjects that is not animal science that it looks pretty interesting.
Okay.
A fun fact is that all the information are all available online. For example, the schedule, just now someone asked, it's all on the website. And before I even came to animal science, I already know the minor exists, and I was already looking through the list and just imagine myself taking those different subjects. So
perfect.
But it's changing all the time. So that's why I will not choose it until like very close, because it will be sad that you really like this and then this topic, and then last minute it's just gone because, for some reason.
Exactly. It's good that you mentioned that, because in Wageningen, whenever you are a non-registered student still, you could easily see our entire educational program in order to just click on the website of Wageningen University, pretend that you are a current student already. There is no password protection, and you can just find out what type of courses are being taught in the different programs, and that's exactly what you mentioned, David. So that gives already an opportunity for students that are not yet in Wageningen or not yet registered already can focus on what does this program offer me. Perfect. I like this. I like the fact that you also find within other programs here in Wageningen also other opportunities of going in a certain direction. Do you have already a little bit in mind in what direction you might take some?
Maybe more in plant science.
Okay.
Yes.
So you try to combine the animal and plant sciences options. Perfect. Great. Okay. No questions at this moment, Janneke?
Nope.
Not yet?
Nothing.
But you are definitely trying to encourage our viewers, eh? That would be good.
Of course.
Okay. Our bachelor program is a program that is by many students followed by a master program. So we have a bachelor in animal science and we also have a master in animal sciences. About 80–85% of our students give it a follow-up by doing the master. The master program is 2 years, and in that master program, as you can see here, you really will become an expert in a certain area. And the main focus of our bachelor program is to give you as a student the opportunity to find out what is your key, what do you like most in animal sciences. What type of, are you more an immunologist? Are you more somebody who is into nutrition? Are you more into ecology or whatever it is? And most of our students do always connect that to a species of interest. And even people that are working at our university, like myself, I'm a nutritionist, but at the same time I'm focusing fully on poultry because that is my topic, so to say. And many of our students have the same. They already make that type of connection. Within our master program, very shortly, we have an MSc internship. We teach you in academic skills, but we also do that already in our bachelor program. And there are a couple of professional tracks that you could choose. And you can see those 4 professional tracks here. You can go in the direction of research or education. You can become an advisor for example, a feed mill industry, or you can become in policy and administration and say, I know how animal sciences should be, or our animal production, animal husbandry should be organized, at least in Europe and maybe worldwide. And you see the differences, and that is exactly what Evelien was telling us a few minutes ago. It is very nice to get an idea and to become a world animal scientist, to know how are things going on in different countries, and where is, for example, welfare more of an idea related to animal sciences, and where are they still in the beginning part of having better environmental issues for animals. Do you already have an idea on what to do after your bachelor? Whenever you finish this, do you have good grades? The 2 of you?
They're okay.
They are okay. David?
It's good.
It's good, okay. I will check that when I'm back. Okay, but that's nice. So that definitely means that you will fulfill the bachelor program, and then, any idea?
Well, hopefully in the 3 years, like how it's planned, and then I can continue to the master. Hopefully.
Yeah.
You never know what will happen, maybe.
But you have, for the moment, you have to focus on
the right track.
On going, but also to give it a follow-up by doing our master program. Yeah? And you do, Evelien. Yeah. Perfect. That's Janneke.
Yeah.
There we go.
How many students are there in animal science first year, and how many of them are international?
Yeah, very good question. Great. Currently, we have about 120 students in our program on an annual basis. So these are the freshmen. And from these 120, about 15 to 20 are international students. And that's the progression on what we will get in the coming year, so to say, on the basis of what we see now already on pre-enrollment data. So that means that we hope to finally come to a larger enrollment of international students. So that's for us now to encourage all the students that are viewing, definitely come to us, come to Wageningen University. Of course, yeah, and of course the students agree fully on that part. Okay, let's go on. These are some of the job opportunities. You can look at that at a later moment at several international spots. What I heard, and maybe that's a good point. What I got to know from being involved in a Canadian university is that they did a research on how important is it for employers that they focus on recruiting students that have an international experience, and they are dramatically into focus on asking students during the first recruitment, during the first interview, to see, hey, did you have experience? Did you follow courses at another university? What did you do actually there? I mean, you can imagine that when you are working at a cattle experimental farm in Canada or at a cattle experimental farm in Wageningen, there's not a lot of difference. So basically it means that you also should follow courses at another spot. And then an employer is keen on that aspect, because that means that they know that you have to organize your own stay over there. You have to keep in contact with your supervisors in Wageningen. Most of the time you have a supervisor as well at the spot where you are. So you are in the middle of the whole organization. And that is very important for a job offer to know that, okay, so they survived that period, in fact, in their life. And that helps a lot. Guidance and advice. I mentioned here 3 basically spots. The study advisor, Francine, is your study advisor for international bachelor students. We have an individual buddy system and we have a mentor system. And I would like to ask our students, what do you think of this system? Is this okay? That's already a question where you only can say yes, of course. But what I mean is, do you get benefit from this guidance? And the fact that somebody, fellow students, but also a study advisor, is keeping a little bit an eye on you. Evelien, what do you think?
At the beginning, I had one meeting with the study advisor, and that really helped me because she just talked me through it, and it was really nice. And she's approachable. I think this one's for international, but there's a Dutch one as well. I'm not sure if the international one does this, but she has an hour a week or so that you can go in and talk to her, which is really nice.
Okay,
so,
perfect.
Yeah.
David?
I don't really have much experience with the advisor.
Yeah.
So I can't really say anything about it. But it's really nice to have this option there. So it's optional, but it's there. So if you really need help or something, you can just go and.
Perfect.
Yes.
You know to find your own way.
Yes. My friends, my classmates, that I've heard they use it more often than me, and they have pretty positive feedback from it.
Okay.
So.
And what do you think of the other 2 ways? The mentoring groups in the first year, that you have a group of students together with a second year or third year student, and you have the buddy system. What do you think of those ways of getting some information?
Personally, for the mentoring, for me isn't that helpful because I like to search my own information on internet, so I know most of the stuff beforehand already.
Yeah.
And the buddy system, because it's the first time there's an international program, so it's still in the prototype. So it wasn't really that good, but it has been improved, I believe, for the next year. So you will see if you come here.
Okay.
But,
so you help already in improving our system of study advice. Actually, that's what you're doing. Perfect, great. Evelien, did you have experience with the buddy or the mentor system?
I didn't have the buddy system, but the mentor system, I think at the beginning it was quite good for some people, but I didn't really use it either because, I don't know, you have your own kind of group within the study who is kind of your own mentor group. It's not really
Yeah.
like they create one for you, but I think it's not super effective.
Yeah. So you basically mean that for some students it might help, but whenever you have created your own little group within a classroom, you are constantly discussing with each other,
Yeah.
and then you know also how things are going.
Yeah.
Whenever you came here quite innocent, like David, he did already everything on forehand. So he knew already a lot of things.
Yeah.
But okay, nice. So that's a little bit up to the student, whether they need it or not. And that is of course where a guidance is also for, guidance and advice. If you don't need it, if you take your own way, then it's of course also quite nice. Well, we're coming to our next subject, and the next subject is admission, or application basically, and admission. I should say it in the right order, of course. You can see a lot of issues mentioned here on this slide. We definitely ask from all our students a high school degree with emphasis on biological sciences. Your GPA is of course dependent on your pre-education, fluency in English, and what we always hope is that students that enter our program have some good marks in statistics and mathematics. And as you can see in the final sentence on this slide is that our entire admission procedure is on an individual basis. So we all check. The central administration and also all of those documents are being checked on an individual student basis. And whenever you might have questions about that, we are ready to help you, of course. Whenever you are still, as a current viewer, in the focus of getting enrolled for September this year, then be aware that there is the deadline of July 1st. And that's every year, so even if you are watching our show now for next year, then keep this in mind and check the university websites in order to know when to apply. Are there any issues that you think, that the two of you think that should take prospective students into account? Evelien, is there something that you think is important to mention?
Well, I mean, just the requirements that with math, and I think you have to have chemistry as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's important to know. But otherwise, it's quite straightforward on how to do it, how to apply.
Okay, so the website is clear enough to lead you through all the procedures, so to say. Okay. Yeah, David?
I don't have any comment on this.
No?
No.
It went well?
Went well. Probably the only suggestion is to start early. Don't do it last minute.
Yeah.
Because, like René said, that it is on the individual basis. So if there's some problem, they will help you out. They will try to figure things out. But if it's too close to the deadline, they cannot really do anything to that.
Yeah.
So, my system, I do have some problem at the beginning, but because I started really, really early, so it was solved within like maybe 1 or 2 months, and I still have plenty of time just sit down and relax. Yeah. So yeah.
That's also a good one. Okay. Yeah. That gives some relaxing time before the really coming over here.
You don't want to accumulate all the stress at the end of the school.
Aha, that's the point. Perfect. Okay. I think we are coming almost to our final spots, but let me show you a couple of, and let me see. Why would you like to study animal sciences in Wageningen? Well, you can see here our country, including Wageningen itself, in the middle of the country. Be aware the country is dramatically small. Whenever you fly in from any place in the world, then don't worry if the aircraft is already descending above Germany. We only do that because otherwise you might miss the country and you end up in the North Sea. So that is the idea. Experience a different country, people and culture. Be aware that Wageningen is a very international spot with many international students, particularly also from our master programs that are fully in English, of course. And I think that makes it quite nice. 1 out of 3 people in Wageningen, in the city, are connected to the university. Well, one out of 3. And that's the student population, and I'm not even talking about staff people and all the other people that are working at our university. So if you consider to study in the Netherlands, then this is actually the Netherlands, so to say. I'm originating from the more northern part of the Netherlands. And when I was a boy of 6 years old, I liked already to eat a herring. And I would definitely try to tell you that whenever you come to the Netherlands, dare to eat this fresh herring, so to say. Now, did you already do that?
Yes.
Yeah, David?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Evelien?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay. Hey, that's great. You should definitely do that. It's very nice. Okay. We are coming to the end of our show. Here you see some extra information. Maybe a last question to Janneke. Did you see already another spot coming in?
No, nothing.
Okay. Well, I hope that everybody enjoyed this program. And whenever you are interested in joining animal sciences at Wageningen University, then please refer. You see something coming in.
Yeah.
Aha, that's
Last
good.
question.
We still have some time, I hope.
Okay, I have been. Okay, wait a moment. I'm going to read this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's wait for a little moment in order to get one of the questions.
Someone says it is very difficult to do an English course because she didn't had English courses in school.
Yeah. And she is asking, he or she is asking whether it's different.
The question is, it is hard. Is it hard?
It isn't that hard because, but maybe it is. But if you comply to our requirements, then I think it is not really hard. And be aware, a lot of the students in our program are not native English speakers. Like, for example, Evelien in that way. You could say that almost. So for everybody, it's sometimes a little bit difficult. But the good thing is that you're all diving into that situation, and that means that you can deal with that. You did as well, Janneke.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It took me 1 month, and that's.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It took you 1 month, and that's okay.
And a lot in the exams, you can take a dictionary with you.
Yeah.
So that's quite handy too.
Exactly.
Yeah, and there are always people who do speak the same language as you, so you can ask them the question.
If you don't understand something,
exactly.
for example.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we close down this session, I would be very happy to ask you whether there are some burning issues that we didn't raise during this webinar, and that you still would like to tell our audience. Is there something? Evelien, we start with the ladies. Evelien.
No.
No?
No.
We already got all the points, that's what you mean? Almost?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think the course was covered quite clearly. Yeah.
Okay. Janneke?
Yeah, maybe sport things, but I don't know if that is related to this. But
Yeah. We have sport facilities at the campus. So whenever you would like to do something, you can definitely take one of those sports, and that's no problem at all. Yeah.
there are questions, a lot of questions. How much time do you need to learn for exams or homework per day?
That's a fantastic question. That definitely I am not able to answer that, but we can ask our students. What do you think, Evelien?
I don't know. It depends on what course it is. Some courses take more time than others. And I mean, if you just do most of your work during the week, it should have the weekend off. But
Yeah.
it depends how much you do. Yeah, I can't say a specific time or anything.
Okay. Is it possible to, because that's a question that we sometimes hear, is it possible to have a kind of a little job next to your program? Yeah?
I think so.
The ladies are saying yes. David?
Little job, like part-time.
Yeah, a part-time job?
Personally, I didn't take part-time.
No.
So
basically, and you did?
I didn't, but I know people who do, so.
And do they get the same level of their grades as you do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You don't party too much. Yeah.
I think that's the point. You need to know yourself, and it's better to, in at least the first 3-4 months, to see, okay, how much time do I need? And then I passed 2 periods, for example, so 4 courses, and then you know, okay, this is my pace. This is how I can work on the program, and then this is what I still have on time. If you normally do a regular work on your study program, you should have the weekends off, definitely,
Yeah.
for sure. Most of the time it means that if you keep up with the course, then it's quite easy to do it. Was there another question?
Is the courses available? The English course available?
A language course, is that what you mean? Are there English
maybe.
language courses available?
Maybe she can ask it again, or he.
Well, whenever that is the question, and I could imagine that would be the question, we have a language center. It's called Into Languages, and students can take definitely courses there in order to upgrade their English standard when they are here in Wageningen already. So that's then sometimes your evening job, so to say. That could be your evening job.
A note to that, to learn, I think to learn language and also the school stuff is a bit hard sometimes.
Yeah.
Personally, before, because Wageningen is in Dutch, so I actually spent 2 years prior learning Dutch because I want to come in here. And so I was in a language school. I was studying Dutch, but I was in a language school full time. And I have met some other students there, and they mostly here to learn English. And then I know that they study there maybe 1 year to 2 year max, and then they go to like Wageningen or other university in English, and that's totally options. So take 1 year or 2 year off to study language first, and then come in. That's sometimes recommended because it's very hard to study research, more theory-based or very heavy class, and also language at the same time because they are equally heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you suggest to anybody who is listening to and looking to our show at the moment is that be prepared also on the English language. That's what you mean, basically.
Yes.
Because otherwise you cannot catch up with all the materials that are coming up to you. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. Is there still a question or?
No, nothing.
Not yet?
Not yet, maybe later.
Okay.
I don't know.
Then we asked Evelien to give a final idea, but she said, well, everything was covered. Janneke, do you still have something that you definitely, well, you had the sports, what you said.
Or maybe we have a lot of hours. How do you say it? You do need to go to the university a lot.
Yeah.
How do you say it?
Contact hours.
Yeah, contact hours. Now, and when you are there and you do nothing, when you go to your contact hours and after your day of school, you are doing chill sessies. I don't know. You also have the self-study week.
Yeah.
So you can catch up everything and get good grades.
Well, there are, and that is, I think you raise a good point. It's not that every student is always occupied for the 8 hours during a day for coursework or practicals or lectures. So that means that you still have time during a day to study together with your peers, with your fellow students, so to say. Find corners. The whole campus has a lot of space where you can sit down with your laptop and study together. I think that it should be done even by more students, because it helps you a lot, because you have to explain to each other what the course content is about, and there is definitely time for that. Yeah. David, you also had some additional comments?
I think it's mostly are covered.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. Janneke?
The question was, is the animal science program in English?
It is. Fully in English. Otherwise we would not talk here in English. It is definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Both bachelor and master program. Yeah. Okay.
That's it.
Okay, it seems that we are more or less done here at this side. Be aware, everybody who watched the show this afternoon, whenever you might have a question, please address those questions to us at a later spot, and we will try to inform you as adequate as possible. So thank you, my 3 helpers in this show. And I would like to say bye-bye on behalf of Wageningen University and Animal Sciences. Thank you.